first up, we're going to talk about Daredevil Born Again, episodes 8 and 9. Episode 8 of Daredevil is basically Bullseye is asking to see Matt, but the real thing is that Matt himself has kind of come to a crisis where he's just like, he was over it. He's over the whole trying to be forgiving and trying to be just a lawyer. He's like, the law has failed him and has failed society. And now he's kind of like going back to his vengeance and vigilante roots. And he's got all this anger that's just right bubbling at the surface. It's coming out with his clients. It's coming out when Poindexter or Bullseye requests to see him. He starts putting stuff together. He's day drinking. He's just like a mess.
The thing that kept annoying me with this episode is the way they're handling his girlfriend. I mean, yes. I've said before that she's really no substitute whatsoever for Karen. Part of his character is how he interrelates with the people he cares about. And we've given him this girlfriend they've just made her aggressively pig-headed and kind of dim. I mean, she's refusing to see what's right in front of her. Yeah. And she's dating a guy who's telling her these people are dangerous.
Especially as a therapist. I feel like she should be more analytical about this.
One would think. And
I still can't believe she didn't figure out that Matt's Daredevil. I think I mean, come on.
Well, not only that, she also says Daredevil didn't rescue me. I'm like, excuse me, because you were doing so well on your own before he jumped through your window.
Mm-hmm. I mean, just because she managed to fire off the gun, he did a little something in between those two events. Yeah,
she was getting busy. She was busy getting stabbed.
She was going to die if Daredevil had not jumped through her window.
Absolutely.
So she finished him off. But she was absolutely dead if Daredevil didn't intervene. I'm like, put some respect on his name.
Well, I think it was also, I feel like she obviously has some kind of vigilante trauma herself. Because she keeps trying to belittle all the vigilantes and say they're little boys. And she's got this like real generalization. I feel like the only way to justify her behavior is to be like, oh, and her father was a vigilante or something. That's giving her these kind of blind spots because she's definitely got blinders on.
Yeah.
Although I gotta say, I thought it was when Matt puts 2 and 2 together and realizes that it was Vanessa, not Wilson, who ordered the hit on Foggy. That was good. That was good. And Vanessa, it's interesting how people are like, "Oh, she's not a victim. She's a queen pin. she a baller."
She is 100% into
They are
this
a
game.
match together. Absolutely,
100%.
A demonic duo.
But then let's get to the
put
ball.
4 shots into Homeboy to eliminate conflict from her relationship.
She was serious.
That's commitment.
I want to get to the ball itself because she, like, the girlfriend who none of us remember her name.
Dr. Glenn.
Oh, there
Heather
you go.
Glenn.
She invites Matt to this big ball, the white and black party, and
black and white.
That's a thing, by the way. I know, but what I thought was hilarious is Vanessa shows up in a red gown, just like okay,
hostess.
Yeah.
It's based on Truman Capote did the big black and white ball years ago in the 60s. And I think that he specified one particular actress to show up in a pure red gown, so she would stand out. And everyone was like, "Oh, look at her!" But he had actually told her to do it. So
so it was based on history. I like that. But I want to get to the actual ball itself and how unhinged Matt starts to behave at this ball, and then you have Poindexter or Bullseye. Like, the tension in that scene is so good because Bullseye has escaped and he's like, you've got the tension of where is he going, who's he gonna attack, what's going on. So that whole scene I thought was fantastic, just showcase of editing and tension and acting, and I was just really impressed. But what I also thought is I liked that it was interesting that Fisk 100% knows that Daredevil can hear him. So he was like, they were dancing and he was having commentary to him during the dance, and it was just great threats and snark fest, and that was all really good. I don't understand, like, other than saying he's a hero and a hero would always move to protect people, he really shot himself in the foot by getting shot.
In the shoulder, actually.
Yes, thank you. But then that leads us to the next episode, which is the finale, which has Heather, the girlfriend, by Matt's side, and just was like, I can't be in the same room with you if you're going to say that Fisk is a bad guy. That was my nail in the coffin for her, is that Matt is heavily drugged. They've already said that. He's injured. He's saying something you don't like. So you're just going to leave the hospital? Like, what kind of girlfriend are you?
A bad one.
Well, he also asked for Karen when he
Oh,
was leaning over, and that was kind of precious. That really was.
that was good. That was good. And Fisk's great line when he thinks about Matt saving his life, he's like, I'd rather have a dead hero than a live vigilante. So go kill him for his efforts. Like, come on.
This season was written and shot before the current political situation, the amazing prescience of the writers. Because
That's true.
for
I was
Fisk
getting
down,
vibes.
to clamp down, declare martial law because of extreme vigilantism and have his own personal brute squad, basically. And then with, basically having a meeting with his advisory team and finding out who he can trust and who he can't trust. And
then
obviously,
having him eliminated or fired.
And that
anybody
commissioner,
not loyal.
I'm surprised he made it to episode 9.
The biggest thing is that I was super surprised when Punisher came back to protect Daredevil. I thought that was a really good team up, and I love the moral dilemma of that big fight that they're having with all the cops, where Daredevil is very much like, okay, we're gonna maim and knock people out. That's all we're doing. And Punisher's like, nah, I'm just killing people.
He's killing. But in his defense, he's only killing bad cops. The ones who are, redeemable. He just maims them.
But they were like, no, but he didn't check that dude in the room where he was like, oh, you're gonna jump in front of a bullet. What about this guy? He just like shot that dude. He was like,
Punisher don't play, man.
Oh my God. Like, that was crazy. That was a crazy
scene.
Speaking
of Karen, how about Karen and Frank's flirtation? It's like, y'all get a room.
Well, it was super awkward because we know that Matt has a thing for Karen and Karen has a thing for Matt, and then Karen has a thing for Frank, and it was like a weird triangle happening in that room where I was like, oh, am I the only one uncomfortable? Malik, you haven't really talked that much. Do you have any thoughts about this episode?
Yeah, I thought it was a rather disappointing season finale. As well. I thought it was, and so we've highlighted some of the interesting points, and I think that's all there is. I think the rest of it was pretty badly done. I found it difficult to be engaged. I'm glad Tom did say what he said, because I was like, if we don't talk about the Trump comparisons of Kingpin in this season, I don't know what we're doing here.
Right.
He causes crises in order to seize power to theoretically solve the problem he generated. Right. He leverages his office for personal financial gain. He purges those not seen as loyal, and he promotes incompetent people because they're loyal.
I agree with Malik that it was weak as a season ender. In fact, I didn't even know that it was a season ender. I especially because it was episode 9, I figured, well, they usually do these things even numbers, so we can expect an episode 10. And most of this episode really is setup. It's just putting, the little pieces in a line and waiting for them to, get knocked down. The bad guys are in ascendance. The good guys are, on the ropes. And that's what you do with a penultimate episode, because most of it was just devoted to setup with no resolution.
True, but I did feel like a call to arms. Like the very end, the way that it felt to me, like I kind of was like, oh, is this a finale? Was the last couple of minutes montage where they show all the forces that are building against him and basically telling Daredevil, you can't do this alone. This is not going to be a throwing fists kind of situation. You need the packing of the people and building like an underground force. Mm-hmm. So to me, I was like, oh, I see. I would have been surprised if it wasn't the finale based on those last few minutes.
Yeah, no,
Resist,
I just saw
rebel,
it as like
rebuild.
and they even had that tag scene where Frank, manages to get the
To
stupidest
escape.
card in the history of the universe. It's like, sure, shake your hand, right? Okay, good.
Well, I mean, the whole
and
point
get out
is,
of the cell.
Yeah.
So, but and I figured, oh, good. So he'll be in action when we have our last episode, which didn't happen.
I did like the finale. I get why you guys did. I totally understand.